Good morning. I'm Whit Johnson in New York, and we're coming on the air right now because there has been a major ruling in Georgia's election interference case against Donald Trump and 14 other co-defendants. Judge Scott McAfee has just ruled Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis can remain on the case. So let's get right to our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, because, Aaron, the way the judge laid this out here, there are multiple options to work with.
There are, because he did not totally clear the district attorney here in Fulton County from the whiff of impropriety, but he said Donald Trump and some of his co-defendants failed to show that there was an actual conflict of interest posed by her relationship with another member of the prosecution team, Nathan Wade, whom she hired to help run the case. But he did say there was an appearance of impropriety. And so while disqualification was not necessary, the judge did give options. The decision says the district attorney may choose to step aside along with the entirety of her office, or she can let Nathan Wade go and the case can continue. So, Whit, the ball is now in Fani Willis's court to decide how to proceed.
All right, Aaron, stand by. Let's bring in Olivia Rubin, our investigative reporter. And Olivia, I know you've been following this closely. Of course, the appearance of impropriety, this is exactly what Trump's attorneys and the attorneys of the other co-defendants were trying to lay out.
It's exactly what Donald Trump's attorney, Steve Sadow, and many of the other defense attorneys told the judge should be enough to remove her from the case. They said that there is enough in Georgia law that should mean that an appearance of a conflict should get her kicked off. But that is exactly what the DA argued against, telling the judge immediately after we saw all of those, high stakes evidentiary hearings, saying that there is no case law that just an appearance of conflict should lead to a disqualification, and urged the judge really in this, I think it was a 17-page filing, saying there must be an actual conflict of interest. And as we just heard from Aaron, the judge ultimately found that there was no actual conflict of interest, that the trips that they took together, that the money that was paid by Nathan Wade's card, remember Fani Willis said she paid that back in cash, that she had no financial benefit, and that should dispel any idea that she had a financial stake in keeping the case going. So when the judge heard that, it seems that seemed to dispel any notion that she had any sort of personal stake here. And I think it's likely that we're going to hear from the DA that this is a win for her case. I think it's not, the worst outcome, that Nathan Wade, which is likely the option that they're going to choose, is going to have to step aside, because the case will continue forward. Fani Willis can continue forward, and it does not have to get tied up now by this outside body having to pick an entirely new team to come in and pick up the case, probably delaying it indefinitely.
All right, guys. So, as you heard, Fani Willis will remain on the case if she chooses to. She's probably going to get rid of her boyfriend. Yeah, so I think that's the route she's going to go. I'm kind of disappointed that the judge didn't dismiss her and her entire staff because of this whole thing being a political witch hunt, as Trump will put it, or political persecution. But she's not off the hook yet. I'll tell you that. If Jim Jordan subpoenaed documents from her, and she is not cooperating or providing the documents in full, and if she doesn't comply, she will be in contempt of the House Judiciary Committee, and she might go to jail over that. And knowing the no backbone Republicans, that may not happen or will never happen. But Democrats will go to any length, any low, to do the dirty work out in the open, and this is how they get their way. And with this case, the judge should have dismissed Fani and her boyfriend. That's it. I think he should have just dismissed the two of them. The office would have remained intact with the case, but those two would have just been, taken off. But the judge gave him the option. that she should step aside, or she could get rid of the boyfriend and she could remain on the case. And since she has no integrity and she has no what's the word I'm looking for, any straight bones in her body, she will dismiss the boyfriend, because this is a political future for her. She can come around and say, oh, I persecuted Trump for racketeering and all this crap, and they tried to get me off the case, they couldn't, and here's the proof, and this is racism, this is black, strong black woman, blah 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 blah. And she's probably going to go to church and thank God and pray and all that stuff to the crowd of people, which I still think that church should lose their 501c3 status because of bringing a political figure, because she is a political figure now. She is a political figure into the church for her to say her thing. All right, let's read about this real quick. In a 23-page ruling, Judge Scott McAfee wrote that while dismissal of the indictment is not the appropriate remedy, he concluded that the established record now highlights a significant appearance of impropriety that infect the current structure of the prosecution team. McAfee ordered that the conflict described by the defendants present an appearance that must be removed through the state's selection of one of two options. The district attorney may choose to step aside along with the whole of her office and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment, McAfee wrote. Alternatively, SADA Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence or remuneration. I don't know what that is. I can't pronounce it. That's my immigrant kicking in. Distracting from and potentially compromising the merits of this case. In justifying his decision, McAfee found that defendants failed to meet their burden of proving that the district attorney acquired an actual conflict of interest, the standard by which McAfee apparently measured his ruling. So, and they brought in the case that Wade paid for it with his card and Fani paid him back in cash. So that is smart on her part for argument, because you can't trace it. There's no paper trail. And if he doesn't show any deposits in his account, it's hearsay type of thing. So I say this, you say that, and blah 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 is just hearsay. I can't talk right now. I'm so pissed off. You get the point. I don't know, guys. This is I hope the judge knows what he's doing, but he did dismiss 6 counts from the case. And I think if the judge lets this continue, I think Fani Willis is gonna lose the case, because she did not provide enough legitimacy in her filing. So I think the judge is playing her like a racquetball. So this was just a hiccup, and she got no integrity, guys. She's definitely a fraud. She's definitely a political figure for the Democratic Party, because that's what she ran on. She ran on, bringing racketeering charges on Trump and his team. So, and this is it. This is the final draw. So I think he's gonna let the case go on. If she chooses to stay on the team, and she just shows how much committed she is to the case and not the boyfriend. So the I love you phases are gonna be gone. He's gonna be out of the picture. No more money, and she will not be taking any more trips. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. We'll figure this out, I guess. as this case goes through its course. Happy Friday.